This podcast was produced by OAR Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.
Ever wonder about the stories of the women around you?
We wanted to create an intentional space for women to share the wisdom they have gained through life experiences.
Tune in to be in awe of some of the Wonder Women in our midst. Wondering Women on OAR Dunedin.
Kia ora, listeners. You are tuning in to Wondering Woman. I'm your host today, Emma Hamilton, and I am so lucky today to be here with a friend of mine, local to Dunedin, Hollie Perniskie. She is a designer and has her own sustainable clothing label where she makes active yoga and leisure wear for women. And we are actually in her studio today, which is super fun to just be out in Hollie's world together. It's such a privilege. So thank you for being here, Hollie.
Thank you, Emma. Kia ora, everyone. It's so lovely to have you in my space. And we've had our tea and we're ready. Mm-hmm. So I'm as Emma said, Ōtepoti local, born and raised here. On my mum's side, I have Irish, Scottish ancestors, and on my dad's side, Māori, Irish and English. So quite a mixture. Mm-hmm. And I love that, to be a part of this podcast. It felt really nice to be able to share my story with Emma, and because I've done a lot of travelling, the whole travelling part really resonated with me, and now I'm really settling into Ōtepoti and working in my studio and building Felix.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. This is not our first time together in Hollie's studio. She's invited me over before, and when we were chatting, just one of my favorite things about having the opportunity to do this podcast is getting to invite the amazing women I meet. And when we were chatting, I was like, I could talk to Hollie forever, and she'd be so awesome to have on. So thanks for being keen.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess I would love to maybe just get started, like how your origin of like how you became a designer. Like, do you have someone who taught you how to sew, or you remember the first thing you ever made, or?
So for me, my nan taught me to sew when I was quite young, and she used to make all sorts of things for me, like Barbie clothes and little matching outfits and stuff, and I guess I watched her, and eventually I was like, I could do that, can you teach me? And I just loved that feeling of being able to visualize something and then create it with my own hands. And the first thing I made was actually a pair of pants, and I feel like I've been on that pants journey ever since. Just really the pants I made was super simple, like 2 rectangles with this like candy striped fabric, and it was like about making something comfy to lounge around it at home, which is kind of what I'm still doing now that I think about it. I'm just like really trying to perfect the pants. And, and I'm always chasing that, well, not chasing, but enjoying that process of creating something that that is practical and
How old were you do you remember when you made those pants? Do you still have them?
I wish. I think they're in a box. Like, I think they got thrown out in a box of things. That there's actually a whole lot of things from that time that I'm like, damn it, it's gone. I must have been, I would say maybe 11. Mm-hmm. And then from then it was really, like I would love to make things before going out and going to any, like, going out with friends, or it became kind of a sort of a thing from necessity as well, like from not having a lot of money and sort of growing up with that, not having a lot of wealth and money around, but watching my parents and my nan and my granddad be so resourceful in what they had. And my granddad being like the OG fix-it man. You could bring him anything and he'd repair it for you. Like I remember handbags and things like that, like a handbag strap broke and he'd just fix it. And mum as well, you know, making things like birthdays and things like that so special with not much. And my stepdad as well, also that creative way of working with what you have. So yeah, I think that's a huge part of how I gain satisfaction from my creativity is,
it seems like you have so many mentors to look up to.
Yeah, totally.
At such a young age that truly made an impression.
Yeah, and like the name Felix coming from my granddad and having a really special connection with him and in the way that he taught me to really to create things with my hands, and you know he's really into gardening and just that resourcefulness, as I said. And so he because of him being so special in my life, I think when I was building Felix, his name just really started resonating with feeling like I feel like Felix wants to be the brand name because also the name Felix, it kind of sounds like feel luxe, which is really integral to what I do, creating garments that enable women to feel luxurious, to feel comfortable so I think I'm very grateful to Granddad on the other side for all the ways he inspired me. And it's almost like Felix is my first child in a way. Like I always thought when I have a child I'm going to call it Felix. So
it's such a sweet name. How special. And just so you had all those mentors, part of your family, and then you went to some design school, is that correct?
Yes, yeah.
Following your journey as a young designer.
Yeah, definitely. I had also at high school, I really got into it as well with, we had like I think it was called fashion class or, sewing, but with the design aspect as well. And that's when I really sort of realised how much I love it. And I entered an award actually around that time. I also grew up with a lot of really amazing supportive women who were friends of mums who are now aunties of mine, really. And they're all so creative in so many ways, artists, designers, all sorts. A whole range of amazing women. And one of them, my auntie Glenda, she encouraged me to enter Trash to Fashion Awards. So it was like repurposing trash, making fashion. I made this design with a lampshade and kind of almost like a corsetry kind of looking top with this big billowing skirt with rubbish bags and doilies and all sorts of stuff. And that was really like a point where I was like, I love the sculptural aspect and like creating something kind of theatrical. And then, obviously went to fashion school here in Dunedin, Otago Polytech School of Fashion, shout out. Had great tutors there, really, I loved all the, we had such a good class of people and a lot of, my friends now are from that time. And, it felt like I really cemented my love of creating clothing specifically.
And so then when did you had that experience creating from a young age, went through the schooling for it as well, and then when did Felix Conscious Design, the label you are creating now, how is there has that been a long time you were thinking about, or how did Felix become what it is today?
I think it really started, it started with the love I have of vintage clothing and I just, the details and the craftsmanship in vintage clothing where you really feel the hand of the maker, and all these sort of aspects of clothing that I feel are completely lost in a fast fashion world. because it's not profitable, you know, to put little details, to really consider, like doing things by hand in a way, or the craftsmanship. And so my love of vintage, I've really carried that with me for a long time. I can't remember, I think it's probably started with Mum, you know, and her op shopping and inspiring me, you know, in that way, and then just loving the different eras of clothing and the stories that vintage clothing hold. So I started out repurposing vintage textiles, so like tablecloths and things like that, making them into clothes, and I thought that would be my brand, and I still hope to integrate that somehow at some point. But I also because I've done a lot of travel working in hospitality, so mainly private yachts and going to all sorts of places in Europe and America, and also just travel in general, noticing I actually spent like almost 8 months in New York and worked for designers there, and really felt like I observed how their processes and how they did things, and that inspired me to think, okay, I can do this. You know, I have everything I need to do this myself. And also being in these cities like New York and traveling to places that are really condensed with people, and seeing so much trash and so much plastic and rubbish, and also the plastic clothing that people wear, like so much polyester, and so much lycra in the, you know, the active wear realm, the yoga realm, these pieces of clothing that now we all have in our, you know, wardrobe, and creating Felix felt like a really tangible way to create a solution to that, to what is a huge problem.
Yeah, what you saw when you were out of the studio.
Living
and
there's crazy statistics. Sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I find that really just inspiring that you noticed that, and you identified, I guess, your talent and your passion and what you can do about it. And I just think it's awesome. Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Emma. Yeah, I felt like it felt very much like a natural process for me. Like you weren't even thinking. Yeah, you just did what you felt like you had to do. Yeah, because it's mad when you think of just how much of clothing is polyester, and the impacts of that on our bodies, the forever chemicals that actually affect our hormones, and the way that plastic, all of the pollution that goes along with it, all the microplastics, and I think it's just crazy.
Yeah, and it seems, I mean, particularly common in the area that you are focusing in with Felix, in that active yoga leisure wear. And so what kind of fabric do you use for Felix?
So I use, I'm really into hemp, because it's an amazing material in general, and in so many ways, in the building sphere, and it can even be used as plastic in all the ways we use plastic. In terms of material, it's so strong. It's much stronger than cotton, so it's got a durability to it. It's breathable, more breathable than cotton. It's more UV resistant than cotton. It has a like a sweat wicking property. It just does so much amazing work. Like, even in the production of it, growing it takes so little water in comparison to cotton. And it actually puts nutrients back in the soil. So it's like, why is everything not hemp?
Right.
Like,
why is everything plastic and not hemp? Yeah.
So I feel like I'm doing the good work by using a material we should be seeing everywhere.
Yeah.
And hemp and
cotton, right?
Hemp and I do use organic cotton in the fabric that I've chosen.
And then some. Though you've got I feel like one thing I've noticed too, about just by looking at what you share online, is just like the the care behind your like physical processes. Like you're talking about, you're choosing these fabrics for a certain reason, and then I came across a video of you dyeing your fabric as well. I'm assuming you have intentions behind what kind of dyes you use, and what does that part of your process look like?
So all the things I select are what I've in my research found to be the most sustainable, and obviously there's always ways I want to improve or diversify and along the way, but the reason I chose this fabric is because it has the hemp, it has the organic cotton, and it has a small amount of spandex too, for the durability aspect, and because I'm making activewear and I'm making things for women to move, and I want them to be able to last and to be durable as well. So it is like a fine balance sometimes. Like I had chosen in the beginning 100% hemp, and then realised, it doesn't really stretch and retain its shape, and that's kind of important, So, and then when it comes to dyeing, the company the sustainable company that I found, they only have black and then white. They don't do any colours. So I had to figure out a way to dye myself, and I found these dyes which they work quite well. They're not like, it's not like when you have something dyed commercially, it's more like a home dye situation. So I love the process, and for what it is, and for my trying to work within my means at the moment, it's good, but it's not like, it doesn't retain the colour as well as I'd hoped. So I have kind of moved away a bit from the dyeing aspect. But I found these low impact dyes I'm happy with, but I'm definitely, if anyone out there knows of any ways to dye that is low impact and doesn't wash out, it's always such a fine balance. Like I want the product to be the best it can be, but I also want it to be the kindest on the planet. So
so in a way you're just like always experimenting, which
always
is so cool. Which maybe it'd be harder to do. I mean, I don't know, that's just a lot of seems like a lot of that's only part of what you do too, in terms of like you also do, I notice, like custom made clothing, or make to, what do you call it, like make to wear orders
make to order,
or make to order. So
the slow fashion world is really about, I think, working with what you have and not kind of trying to grow too fast, or to just to be, I think that like in general we all just need to slow down in everything, and I've had to change my whole mindset. In the beginning I thought, right, I'm getting the fabric, it actually is made in China, so it makes sense to have things made there. That's the most sustainable thing. It seemed to me at the time crazy to ship it to New Zealand and then to ship it out to be sold to the customer, but I've since had to reevaluate and sort of go, well, actually for me to make everything myself is the most sustainable thing. And even if that means shipping the fabric all the way from China, I'm going to have to do that for now until somebody, starts to make fabric in New Zealand again, which I really pray that happens. And I hope that, in the future, that's something I could be a part of and have a hemp farm, be a dream. But until then, it's like trying to step away from this idea of you must be profitable instantly, as fast as possible. You must make it, like, expand and grow as fast as possible in order to keep up, or and I like to think of it more like, what am I keeping up with? All I'm doing here is building a lifestyle for myself and for others, where we are wearing clothing that connects us to the earth and gets us out of that machine, that bloody craziness of to kind of I'm in the weeds now. Well,
I'm looking at what you're wearing too. You make these cool t-shirts that say take me back to the matriarchy, and it seems we've been chatting about the thought you do put and the time you put into making your garments, but clearly, I don't know, it seems like there may be a story behind that t-shirt that's also, and what you're saying, that is inspiring your process and your business.
True. Yeah. And I should mention my main like inspirations as well, being to start with being Mother Nature and doing what's best for Mother Nature and honouring her and the little rituals that keep me connected, and I do like to find ways that I can incorporate that into the brand as well, and I guess that's the link between my designing process and the way I want to live my life, which is slower and more connected, and then bringing in this print that I've designed, the Take Me Back to the Matriarchy. It's a celebration of us as humans having different origins to what the patriarchy would have us believe, which is that, you know, we're here just to simply commodify everything, to live in these systems which are masculine dominant, and completely degrading the feminine, and not just in a sense of men against women, and, you know, in a matriarchal society, all are collaborating together, all humans. So you know, it's not just a gender sort of argument. I think we're taught that we need to fight, and that we need to fight against each other, and that there's so much separation, and matriarchy is unity, and it's like, when I have looked into the history, there's clear evidence that matriarchies existed at a point which is dating back way back to the first ice age and beyond, and how we lived in peaceful societies, and we lived in an interconnected way with nature, and I think that the more we remember that, and the more we remember what we are as humans, the better off we are, and the more, because being in a patriarchal system, which I think is completely breaking apart and it's unraveling in front of our eyes, which is one amazing thing about being in this time in history, is watching new systems come up and new spaces that are actually more inclusive of everyone. Yeah. And so I didn't really, did I explain the print? So take me back to the
I didn't either. I mean, I think listeners will have to go check it out for themselves. But it is this beautiful, the one Hollie's wearing is this black t-shirt, and it's got this bright pink, really elaborate graphic of goddess heads and trees and nature. So just it's just so cool. I think that you have this own label, and you're making, you know, whether or not, I don't know, that you're thinking about these things, and you've taken the time to make a t-shirt about it that people can wear around.
Join the matriarchy. All welcome.
And just so topical to have you on a show like this, to prompt people to think about that too. So, I wanted to, I had a thought about what we could chat about. Oh, you mentioned way earlier in that last bit about some rituals that you like to do. Are there any that you mind sharing? Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think for me it's definitely the important piece is the slowing down, and the ways that we listen to our bodies more. I should say me, because it's not, we don't all do the same things, do we? For me, I like to have rituals that get me into my heart, really. I talk about Felix being earth-directed, heart-centered, and conscious design. So consciously choosing to little things. Often it's little things. It's like... Yeah, what are they?
So having that spray that I sprayed, so things that ground me, like different essential oils. I love to surround myself with flowers in the season, and I'm currently drying flowers and getting kind of in a way it's massively about living within the cycles of nature, which I haven't done a lot because I've often gone overseas at this time of year. So I'm loving just that hunkering down, that gathering herbs, kind of witchy things. It's massively about being in alignment with Papatūānuku and the ways that I honour this land being the caretakers of this land being Māori, and the opportunity we have to be guardians of this planet of this land. I like to take inspiration from the indigenous culture of this land being Māori, and the key word being kaitiaki.
Yeah, I just wanted.
Guardians. Oh,
Did you have any more to say? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but we just have a couple seconds remaining.
Okay.
But thank you so. I'm sorry, I hate to cut this short. I feel like we have so many more things to talk about, Hollie. But just have a few more moments, and just wanted to say thank you so much for being on again, and sharing your stories with listeners. And if people are curious to keep up with Hollie, I will include that information in the episode description online.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you, Emma.
Yeah.
And check out my website and Instagram, and anyone in Ōtepoti, if you want to try on some clothes, have a chat, just definitely reach out. And I love to have visitors in my studio.
Oh, that's so kind. Yes,
Yeah.
it's amazing. So until next time, thank you for
Okay.
tuning in to Wandering Woman.
Thank you.
Ever wonder about the stories of the women around you?
We wanted to create an intentional space for women to share the wisdom they have gained through life experiences.
Tune in to be in awe of some of the Wonder Women in our midst. Wandering Women on ōFM Dunedin, 10 a.m. Sundays, replayed 6:30 Wednesdays.
This podcast was produced by ōFM Dunedin with support from New Zealand On the Air.